Hey, Harold, you got a minute? I have something to say to you.
Hey, Jane. What is this something? Is it important? Want to talk directly?
Well, actually, I was going to call and talk to you directly, but figured I should leave this kind of stuff in text form, you know. So, do you mind?
No, not at all. So, what's up?
We've been going on for, what, 5 years now? And now we're both in our mid-20s, right?
Yeah, almost past the midway point and on our way to 30. Time flies.
Yeah, right? So, I'm seriously contemplating marriage. And age-wise, thought it would be a good time to bring it up. Most of our classmates have already gotten married.
Yeah, I know. As I said before, I asked you to wait a little bit longer. Remember? I'm currently studying so I can take over my parents' business. There's still a lot to learn, and I'm pretty busy. I'm not quite ready. I don't want to be a burden on you later on.
Yeah, I heard that so many times. But a woman is only young once. I want to get married right away and be happy as soon as I can. So, I want to break up with you.
Huh? Break up?
If you keep postponing the marriage, before you know it, I'll be in my 30s. And there's a limit to when I can have a child.
I completely understand how you feel, but until I can be really confident in myself, I just can't. Can't you wait for a little longer? It's gonna be several years before I'll be promoted to company president, but after a year or two, we can start planning the wedding. And for now, the company's on a steady keel. I will never make you struggle financially.
To be honest, I'm a little worried about your family business. I asked you about it before, but I still don't know what sort of a company it is. It's just some local business or a small factory, right? You guys are okay now, but it seems kind of shaky. Never know what will happen going forward. You always say you'll make me happy and would not burden me, but that's all talk. You never know what will happen.
Let me get this straight. You're saying my pay won't be so great, and that's why you're concerned?
I want to be a housewife, so I really don't want to have to work. And you say this company is a family business run by close relatives. Not really well-known name you can brag about. It'd be different if I was a wife of some major corporation. I sure would prefer a famous corporate name I could boast to my friends about.
Famous corporate name. Huh. So it's all about having a cool title. Are you telling me you want to break up just for a title? So, what was all that time we spent together? All these years?
It means nothing if we can't marry. During your university, you were fairly good looking, so I figured I would go out with you and see how things worked out. But, you know what? It's not about looks. A guy's gotta have money and a corporate title.
Okay, so Jane, you want to dump me and find a guy with money and a cool title. Is that it? Even if he's 30 years your senior?
Huh? Why do you...
Do you really think I didn't know? I know you've been two-timing me with a guy you met on the dating site. I knew about you guys a long time ago. He's the vice president of a major corporation. He's almost 60 and twice divorced.
So what? What's it got to do with you? It's none of your business. I'm breaking up with you, and we're not even engaged. You have no right to tell me what to do. I can marry whoever I want. Way better than marrying the so-called president of a tiny local company of a factory or whatever it is. I'd rather go out with an older guy who makes a six-figure annual income.
Yeah. Well, what he lacks in appearance and age, he has money and prestige, I guess. Your perfect definition of a great guy.
Yeah, unlike you. So, stop holding me back and break up with me.
Yeah. Okay. You seem set on dumping me. Yeah, okay. I'm not gonna stop you. Do as you please, Jane.
Finally. Figure it out, huh? So that's that. Our relationship is finally over. And please don't talk to me again. I'm the wife of a rich businessman. You're the owner of a local business. We live in completely different worlds. Do you get it?
Yeah, I got it. I'll never speak to you ever again. And please, block me online. Alright then. I hope you find your happiness.
I don't need you to tell me that. I sure will be happy. Just watch. Hey, Harold! It's been so long. I saw the newspapers. Your company was all over the news. I'm not really sure what it is all about, but that is really something on the front page. I knew you would be a success someday.
Huh? Is that you, Jane? What's up? Did you decide to unblock me?
I saw a huge picture of you in the paper today, and I immediately contacted you. I thought your company was some small local business or something. You were able to get, what was it? A patent? I was so shocked. I did a little research on my own. Didn't realize your company has a long history and is quite large. Your company runs various vacation spots and hotels, right? Harold, you never told me your family business was so big and rich.
Well, I'm not the one that's rich. My parents own the whole thing. They've been protecting the company and family name for generations.
But you're going to inherit it all someday, right? All of it is going to be yours someday, right? The company and all its assets and all the money, right?
Yeah, well, I guess. That's a long way away. I'm still learning the ropes.
Wow, you're set to inherit it all. It's so wonderful. That's my boyfriend.
Huh? What's with this, my boyfriend? Don't you remember? We split up years ago. What happened to the old guy you were gonna marry?
I broke up with him long time ago. He was rich, but he was just too old. He smells, he's fat, and just really yucky. So, I figured we could get back together.
What? Not a chance. Why would I go with you again? Besides...
But the last time we talked about breaking up, you tried hard to stop me. I was sure I sent some affection towards me. There is nobody to interrupt our relationship anymore. So I'm willing to let bygones be bygones and start over.
Like I said, no chance. Besides, I'm...
Come on, don't be shy. And your preparations for the job? That's just about complete, right? This time, I'll marry you. I'll go over to your place this weekend, say hello to your folks. What do you say? Boy, I can't wait to go to your house. I heard your home is quite a mansion. Can't wait to be called the president's wife.
I already have 2 kids.
Huh?
I'm already married, and I have 2 lovely kids. So obviously, I can't marry you. Sorry.
Huh? What? Are you serious? Why are you married?
Am I not allowed to get married? I mean, I never said I was gonna stay single for the rest of my life.
But when we were going out, you never wanted to get married. As if you're avoiding it. But then you break up with me, and after a couple of years, you get married? Come on! And you have kids? That's absurd! And why didn't you marry me back then, when I asked?
That's why I told you back then, to wait a year or 2 to get things in order. Then I would marry you. You're the one who couldn't wait and went ahead and had a fling with that dude. Something about money and a cool title, as I recall?
Yeah, but I didn't know about your company.
Jane, you really are something. You don't even try to hide the fact that all you're interested in is the money.
I want you to divorce your wife right away and marry me. Your ex-wife can take custody of the kids, and we'll make our own.
Are you senile? I'm not getting divorced. My wife is a wonderful and sophisticated woman, unlike you. After breaking up with you, my folks introduced me to her. She completely understands what is required for my job and supports me every step of the way. She makes me very happy. She made me realize the importance of family. She's a wonderful wife. And FYI, she would never cheat on me.
But I broke off my relationship with that guy just so I could marry you. I make amends. I broke it off to be with you. It's because I love you, Harold. I can't believe you would chase away your ex-girlfriend that way. You're so cruel. Monster!
What the hell are you talking about? Your breaking up with the guy has nothing to do whatsoever with me. We're complete strangers.
But...
And you said you broke up with the guy. That's a lie, right? The truth is, he dumped you. Am I right?
Huh? Of course not.
That guy you had that affair with? He's a real womanizer, I hear. He would lay his hands on not only his employees, but also his daughter's friends. He would use his money as bait to lure in any woman that would fall for it. I can understand him being twice divorced. He just used you and dumped you. Am I right? As you said, woman is only young once, but that precious time was all used up by some old womanizing geezer. I feel for you, Jane.
No, you're wrong. He didn't use me. I was the one who dumped him. Stop making it out like I'm the victim here.
Yeah, I get it. Anyways, I have a wonderful family, so I have no intention of marrying you. Find some other schmuck. This time, I'm gonna block you, so please don't try contacting me again.
What? Hey, come on! Can't I just contact you sometimes? If you can't marry me, how about a mistress?
I wouldn't even want you as a friend. Like you said, we live in completely different worlds. So, I'll leave you with those wise words. See ya!
Hold on, please!
After we had the conversation, Jane hung around our home and office, trying to find the chance to talk to me again. She ended up stealing our mail and dumping garbage in our yard. We set up a security camera and got all the recorded evidence we needed. We took that to the police and charged her with stalking. Jane's parents visited us and apologized for her daughter's behavior. They promised they would keep a close eye on her and that she would never bother us again. We received minor compensation for her nuisance, and she was let go into the custody of her folks. That was the last I ever saw of Jane.
Hazel, where are you right now?
Huh? Where? It's my women's group meeting today. I'm out with them. We're all meeting today for lunch at an Italian restaurant. Why do you ask?
You're out with friends? I told you Rebecca only had a half day of school today. I told you she was coming home at lunch. I asked you to be home to let her in the house and make lunch for her, didn't I? You said you'd be home. That's why I made a doctor's appointment for today.
Oh, that was today. I'm sorry. It completely slipped my mind.
Rebecca couldn't get in the house because the door was locked. So she was outside crying until one of the neighbors noticed and contacted me. I'm not done with my doctor's appointment, so can you please rush home and get Rebecca?
What are you talking about? You know I can't do that now. We just got sat down at the restaurant. I can't leave now.
But it's your granddaughter. Hazel, please. I'm at the hospital right now. This appointment is important to me. Isn't there any way you can get Rebecca for me?
When we're done eating, I'll go get her. You said the neighbor is with her right now, so she'll be fine for a couple hours. I don't know why you just can't give her a key. She can let herself in and stay by herself for a few hours.
She's only 6. I can't leave her by herself. And it's not the neighbor's job to look after her until you finish eating with your friends. Besides, she has to eat lunch and get ready for her swimming lesson this afternoon. She can't wait until you're done eating.
You're being pretty stubborn about this, aren't you? Besides, you're pregnant right now. You're due soon. A woman as pregnant as you should be at home, not out running around doing whatever she wants. All of this happened because you weren't home. So don't blame me. You made your bed, now you've gotta lie in it.
Oh, I'm at this doctor's appointment because I'm pregnant. You said you'd be there for Rebecca today. Please, just go get her.
I can't. Look, I'll tell you this just so you know. This women's meeting at the restaurant today. I'm doing it for you.
For me?
That's right. These are women from your neighborhood. We have to be nice to them in case something ever happens. It would be terrible if you ever needed help and none of your neighbors liked you enough to help you out. It's called building rapport. I'm doing this for your benefit. Trust me, I know you're not good at talking to people. You should be thanking me right now for doing this for you. It's rude for me to be using my cell phone right now, so I'm turning it off. So don't message me anymore. Paige, are you there? I know this is a little sudden, but we're going camping tomorrow.
Pardon me?
I'm having lunch with my sister and her husband right now. They said they went not long ago. You know, to that new campsite that just opened up.
New campsite? You mean that one in the next city?
Yeah, that one. My sister said it was fantastic. When she told me, I just had to make reservations. I couldn't help myself.
I see. But I'm sorry, we can't go. The baby is due any time now. I want to stay in town close to the hospital.
Who cares if your baby is due soon? Pregnancy isn't a sickness. Don't use your pregnancy as an excuse to sit at home and do nothing all day. Andy will drive us. I know my son's a good driver. You trust your husband's driving, don't you?
It's not that. Driving there isn't the problem. You can go with Andy and Rebecca if you want, just the three of you. I'll sit this one out.
No way! I planned this as a family trip. Me and my son's family. If you're not there, there's no point in going. Besides, I made the reservation for 4 people, and since it was last minute, I can't get my money back. So stop packing. We're going camping!
Hazel, please answer your phone. You have to come back and get me. You can't leave me behind at a coffee shop like this.
Well, we had no choice, did we? You were complaining the whole time that you didn't want to go. I wasn't going to listen to that for 2 days straight. Ugh. Besides, we're getting on the highway now anyway. Coming back to pick you up would just be a pain. You can walk home or call a taxi.
You did that right in front of Rebecca, too. She was yelling for you to stop hurting Mommy. And I saw her crying, looking out the back window as you drove off. If this incident causes her trauma, are you going to take responsibility for that? You pulled me out of the house against my will and put me in the car. Rebecca was crying when you did that too. And then we go only about 20 miles away. You stop in a coffee shop parking lot and you pull me out of the car and drive off. You know how small I am compared to you. I couldn't fight back even if I wasn't 9 months pregnant. It's not even how bad all that is. It's that Andy didn't even try to stop you. Both of you must be crazy.
We're just teaching you a lesson. You need to learn manners.
Manners?
Yes. It appears your parents didn't raise you very well, did they? If they're not going to teach you, I'll just have to do it myself. You need to learn to respect your elders.
Hazel, this isn't about me respecting or not respecting my elders. What do you think a pregnant mother's first priority is? It's to protect her baby. It's to avoid anything that might not be good for her baby. You have a son. You know this, right? What would I do if I went into labor or something happened to me out in the middle of nowhere? There's no hospital anywhere near that campsite. That's why I didn't want to go.
How many times are you going to say that? Take responsibility for your own actions. If something happened to you or your baby at the camp, it wouldn't be the campsite's fault, and it wouldn't be mine. It would be your own fault. This has nothing to do with us, so it shouldn't affect our lives. The only reason you didn't want to come on this trip is because you don't think you're a good mother. You don't think you can protect your kids properly, do you? If you're not confident you can protect your own kids, that says to me that you're just not a good mother.
You've got it wrong. Being able or not able to protect them is one thing. But what a mother should do first is to not expose her children to danger in the first place. And the fact that Andy went along with your plan to abandon me just proves to me that he's a useless husband. And he's left me no choice.
Did you just call my son a useless husband?
Are you telling me he's not?
I can't believe you have the nerve to say something like that to me about my own son. Your parents did raise you poorly. They must have been really overprotective. That's why kids today are so weak and delicate, are scared of the slightest things. I've got it. I know what I'm going to do about you. I'm going to tell everyone in the neighborhood that you're a terrible wife. Yep, that's it. That's what I'm gonna do.
Huh?
Well, it's true, isn't it? You're against anything Andy or I say. You don't respect your elders or your husband. You even speak poorly about your husband. I'm gonna show them the text where you said he's a useless husband. Soon, no one in the neighborhood will like you, and it'll all be your own fault. That's what you get. Yup. You're gonna have a miserable time living in that neighborhood from now on.
Well, I suppose you guys should be arriving at the campsite soon, huh?
Huh?
You've arrived at the campsite entrance, haven't you?
Well, yes. We're coming up to the parking area soon. It's such a beautiful area, and I hear the view is even better when you get in. If you wouldn't have complained so much, you could have been here with us. We could have had a wonderful time together.
No, I don't think we could ever have a wonderful time together. And I know you won't be enjoying your trip now that I'm not there.
Huh? Oh, we've arrived. Don't contact us anymore until we get back. Even if you go into labor, don't message us.
Look behind you!
Huh? Huh? Hey, there's someone behind us that looks a lot like Jeremy.
That's right.
That's right. Why would your father be at a place like this?
About that new campsite? My father owns it.
What? I thought he owned a golf course.
He does, but recently he's expanded into other leisure facilities.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wait a minute. He's not letting us through the gate.
Well, of course not. I told my dad everything you did.
What do you mean what I did?
I'm talking about you abandoning a woman 9 months pregnant at a coffee shop and continuing on your vacation without her and left her with no way to get home. I told you I couldn't go camping because my baby was due at any time. What you did was worse than going without me. You dragged me with you just to abandon me? I knew my dad would be angry if he found out I went camping this late in my pregnancy. And I knew he'd get mad at you and Andy for taking me along.
So what? Are you trying to say you were protecting Andy and I from your father?
That's exactly what I'm saying. I know you planned this trip just for a change of pace. That's why I told you to take Andy and Rebecca and go have fun without me. I figured if my dad asked me why my family left me alone, I'd just tell him that I told you guys to go have some fun. I thought that way he couldn't really get angry at anyone. Well, I don't know if that would have worked or not, but you went and did this to me, so I told him everything.
Talk to your father right away. Andy has already gotten out of the car to talk to your father, but he doesn't seem to want to listen. He looks furious. If you speak to him, you can get him to calm down, and all this will be resolved right away. Just tell him we didn't abandon you. Tell him you got out and told us to go ahead without you.
You want me to do what? You made Andy stop the car, and you got out and physically pulled me out of the car against my will.
Paige, come on. It wasn't that bad. It was just a little joke.
And what if I had fallen on my stomach when you pulled me out of the car? If you would have hurt my baby, would you call that a little joke too?
Ah, you're so thick-headed. You've got to relax a little and let things go. Otherwise, you'll be miserable your whole life. I'm your mother-in-law, but you're treating me like I'm some random stranger. I'm allowed to do things like that to you. We're related. Look, if you don't talk to your father and get him to calm down about this, I can see there's gonna be bad blood between our families for a long time.
After what you did to me, don't even use the word family when referring to you and me ever again. It gives me goosebumps when you do.
What?
I'm not telling my dad you didn't do what you did. Oh, and tell Andy I'm divorcing him.
Divorce? Oh, you've gotta be kidding!
I'm not kidding. He didn't even try to stop you today. How do you think any of us could possibly live together after what happened today? I've had all I can take of you and your useless son.
What are you talking about? You're a mother. You can't get divorced. You have kids. What'll happen to them?
My children? What do you care? You only care about your granddaughter when it's convenient for you. You leave a 6-year-old girl locked outside and go off to eat lunch with your friends. And it's not like Andy cares about his daughter either. He only spends time with her if he's not out drinking with his friends, and if there's no sports on TV. I can raise my children by myself, like I've been doing this whole time anyway. Do you think I need Andy? If you do, you're crazy.
Oh, but a divorce will cause huge problems. Where are we going to live? Andy and I will have no place to live. You wouldn't make us leave.
That's right. You'll have no place to live. That house we're living in now is my dad's. Andy can't touch it in the divorce. And if we're divorced, why on earth would I let him and my ex-mother-in-law keep living with me? So obviously I'll be kicking you two out.
You can't kick us out on such short notice. It's not fair. Are you that heartless? Have you forgotten all the things I've done for you?
I remember all the things you've done to me, but I can't think of anything you've ever done for me. So how's it going with my useless husband?
Well, he still hasn't come back to the car yet.
Maybe you can't see from the car, but he's down on his knees begging right now. Why don't you try getting out and talking to my dad? I'm sure he'll love to speak to you, too.
Huh? I'm not going over there. Please, Paige, do something. I apologize for everything I've done in the past. I'm sorry. Your dad just came over to the car and took the keys out. He said he's taking Rebecca back with him, and he told me and Andy never to go back to that house of his. What are we supposed to do now? He took the keys. We can't drive back.
I think you should take responsibility for what you've done. Isn't that what you always tell me to do? Look on the bright side. You're much better at communicating than I am. I'm sure you've got lots of friends to help you out, right? Why don't you get them to help you out this time? You know, all of those friends from your women's group. After I called my dad, he had one of the campsite staff members pick me up and drive me back to my house. After speaking to them at the campsite, my dad made Andy and my mother-in-law leave the camp property, and he brought my daughter Rebecca back safely to the house. Rebecca was so happy to see me that she started crying, and I did too. We both cried as we hugged. Somehow, Andy and his mother eventually made it back to the house, even without the car they drove up in. They both begged me to forgive them and to let them back into the house. But after what they did, neither me nor my father would allow them back into the house. Andy also begged me not to divorce him, and he fought it every step of the way. But even he couldn't bear being the target of my father's anger. So Andy finally gave in, and we finalized the divorce. Since my father and I had kicked them out, they didn't have a place to live. I heard they were staying in a cheap, run-down motel for a while, up until the divorce was finalized. As for where they are right now, though, I don't know. There's a rumor going around that there are 2 homeless people who set up camp down by the river, though. As for me, I gave birth to a healthy baby boy. For now, I've moved back in with my parents, so they can help me take care of the new baby. Now that I think about it, raising a newborn baby and an elementary school student is a little much for just one person. But just thinking about having that useless husband or that useless mother-in-law around would be 100 times worse. That's why I'm so happy my parents were there to save me from them and help me out now.